the government of the People's Republic of China. It consists of legislative, executive, military, supervisory, judicial and procuratorial branches. The National People's Congress is the highest state organ, with control over the constitution and basic laws, as well as over the election and supervision of officials of other government organs. The legislature meets annually for about 2 weeks in March to review and approve major new policy, directions, laws, the budget, and major personnel changes. The Npc Standing Committee is the permanent legislative organ that adopts most national legislation, interprets the constitution and laws, and conducts constitutional reviews. The President acts as a ceremonial head of state in compliance with decisions made by the NPCSC, but exercises an independent power to nominate the Premier. Elected separately by the NPC, the Vice President has no power themselves, but assists the President. The State Council, also referred to as the Central People's Government, is China's executive organ headed by the Premier of China. Besides the Premier, the State Council has a variable number of Vice Premiers, 5 State Councillors, the Secretary General, and 26 ministers and other cabinet-level department heads. It consists of ministries and agencies with specific portfolios. The State Council presents most initiatives to the NPCSC for consideration after previous endorsement by the Communist Party's Politburo Standing Committee, which is headed by CCP General Secretary. Although the NPC generally approves State Council policy and personnel recommendations, it and its Standing Committee have increasingly asserted its role as the national legislature, having been able to force revisions in some laws. For example, the State Council and the party have been unable to secure passage of a fuel tax to finance the construction of expressways. China's judicial organs perform prosecutorial and court functions. China's courts are supervised by the Supreme People's Court, was established in 2018 to investigate corruption within the Communist Party and state organs. During the 1980s, there was an attempt made to separate party and state functions, with the former deciding general policy and the latter carrying it out. The attempt was abandoned in the 1990s with the result that the political leadership within the state are also the leaders of the party. This dual structure thereby creates a single centralized focus of power. At the same time, there has been a move to separate party and state officers at levels other than the central government, as it is not unheard of for a subnational executive to also be party secretary. This frequently causes conflict between the chief executive and the party secretary, and such is widely seen as intentional to prevent either from becoming too powerful. Some special cases include the special administrative regions of Hong Kong and Macau, where, according to constitution and respective basic law, most national laws do not apply, and the autonomous regions, where, following Soviet practice, the chief executive is typically a member of the local ethnic group while the party general secretary is non-local and usually Han Chinese. The Chinese constitution was first created on September 20, 1954, before which an interim constitution-like document created by the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference was in force. The second promulgation in 1975 shortened the constitution to just about 30 articles, containing communist slogans and revolutionary language throughout. The role of courts was slashed, and the presidency was gone. The third promulgation in 1978 expanded the number of articles, but was still under the influence of the very recent Cultural Revolution. The current constitution is the PRC's fourth promulgation, declared on December 4, 1982, and has served as a stable constitution for 30 years. Under the constitution, the roles of the presidency and the courts were normalized, and all citizens were declared equal. Amendments in 1988, 1993, 1999, 2004, and 2018 recognized private property, safeguarded human rights, and further promoted the non-public sector of the economy. The legal power of the Communist Party is guaranteed by the PRC Constitution, and its position as the supreme political authority in the People's Republic of China is realized through its comprehensive control of the state, military, and media. The National People's Congress, the NPC, elected for a term of 5 years, holds annual sessions every spring, usually lasting from 10 to 14 days, in the Great Hall of the People on the west side of Tiananmen Square, Beijing. These annual meetings are usually timed to occur with the meetings of the CPPCC, providing an opportunity for the officers of state to review past policies and present future plans. To the nation, the fourth session of the 12th NPC was held from March 5 to March 16, 2016. The CCP Politburo Standing Committee consists of the